But in terms of being able to a legacy where, I wouldn't do that no matter what, because I think that like when I was growing up, I wouldn't let my kids eat lobster because I wanted them to be able to appreciate it. I would only buy them certain kind of cars because I didn't want. I want the first time they did it, they did. I didn't want them to believe that they were entitled to it. I want them to have to realize, and so I think but even that's artificial. So I hope I've done that. I'll wait till the book come out to decide what I've done.
Right, I mean, because there's always the balancing act between, what's really the difference between a trust fund and welfare.
Right.
It's kind of equivalent to it.
It is. But trust funds are a lot better than welfare. Let me tell you that. I mean, I never had a trust fund, but I have had welfare, and anything would be better than that. I'm just,
we just lost.
Hey, at least he was honest.
Yeah.
I'd actually posted up the DMs. Dick Gregory actually wanted to do an interview with us, and we just couldn't manage to get it.
Shout out Dick Gregory.
Yeah, he fucked up. You fucked up.
An incredible voice.
Yeah.
Did you guys know each other?
Yeah. I think sometimes you do all that you were supposed to do, and you leave. And I think he was the voice of a conscience, of a movement, of a nation to some degree. And I think he did all he could. And I think, at least my art form is all the better for it. And I'm glad I got to know him. And I'm glad I got to see the way he made humor and social justice. I think Dick Gregory and Mark Twain are among my favorite comedians, my favorite humorists.
Wait, Dick Gregory and Mark Twain?
Yeah.
Well, why Mark Twain?
Because I think Mark Twain did the exact same thing Dick Gregory did. I think that they use their art and humor to illustrate some of the human condition.
I mean, when you look at the greatest stand-up comedians, like who would be in your top three, except for yourself?
George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and a cat named Robin Harris, to me.
So Robin Harris and Red Fox are tied.
Yeah, kind of.
Eddie Murphy's not on the list.
Yeah, but I mean, Eddie Murphy had a skill set I couldn't touch, so it's just, I'm talking about the guys. I'm talking about the guys that cat had more talent, like the most talented human being I've ever seen on stage. When I was on stage to this day, the most talented person I've ever seen is Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx was so talented when we started doing comedy together. I remember watching him at the Comedy Act Theater, and he was so talented, and I turned, I forgot who it was, and I go, it's fucking unfair that this motherfucker's this talented. And I was mad. I was mad. I said, it's so unfair. But that was the most, that was the most talent I'd ever seen in one person on stage that long. But I'm talking about 30, 40 years, and cats doing it for a long time. The greatest comedians to me are the ones I just mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, George Carlin, it seems like all those guys sort of had a level of comedy that was so...
Can we get back into the comedy, but I want to get back on that, what he was
talking about. I hope that
I've given them... What the fuck a pause? They tried to take over our station. We don't own that. That was from Blad TV. Shouts out to Blad. Shouts out to
YouTube.
Yeah. But did y'all hear what he was saying? Anything is better than welfare.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But he, like you said, he grew up on welfare. His kids don't have to grow up on welfare, and they have a trust fund. Yeah. See, it's better. And man, like you said, all his kids and wife don't graduate from college. He got a GED and he on one working.
Yeah, that's
so the only thing it's not fucked up because that's what he was instilled when his daddy instilled that in him.
No, that's fucked up.
No, it's not. He's just taking care of his family.
No, it's fucked up when it comes to the system that you go through all that.
That's fucked up.
You still equal. Your GED is still equal to this diploma. Why? Because she got a master's and we both working at JCPenney. She got a master's, but she the manager. But and I'm stocking. I've been working 2 years, but we both still work at JCPenney. And she got a master's in health or accounting or some shit like that.
And what's more sad than that, it's fucked up that shit. You rich as hell, and you should have companies and your kids went to college and should be out running your companies. They should be working. They shouldn't be sitting in the room waiting on you to come back off tour and, you know what I'm saying, on their phone.
Man, you know, we don't know what they do.
I'm just saying what he said.
I understand, but you know.
I'm just saying, and that's probably a lot of rich people doing that with their kids. Because they already got money.
Because remember he said he didn't want his kids to feel entitled. He's like, that's why I started them off slow. I didn't want a silver spoon them up. Right when they came out, they got Versace and
like people that
Benzes.
A lot of people like they not in the business. They work. So they're not in the business, but you work and you can't give your kid a job.
But if I was
like, you can't give your kid.
You say you got connections, you can hook him up with somebody that can give him a job.
But you need to be able to start young. We need to be able to start companies. That's why I played this just for those two things and let motherfuckers know to get that out here today. Like, we need to be able to start companies so we won't depend on them. You know, they came here, took this shit, stole this shit. Now we depend on them to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you said, you a farmer, you milking cows and shit. And you left off the farm and came into the real world. Now you gotta depend on your job, your check, your this, your that, your that. If you was on the farm, you wouldn't need none of that shit. You'd be like, hold on, baby. Chop that motherfucker up, cook some eggs, woo, and everything good. Run around, go play some basketball in the back on the court. No, you gotta live in this brick concrete city. And if you ain't from this shit, it could be more hard than done on a motherfucker. Like,
it is. It's
I'm
difficult.
from Chicago, so you know, this is all we know. Like,
like you said, it's difficult.
Like, we don't get the money from that supermarket, we gonna go take that shit.
No, it's difficult.
Straight up, bro.
It's like you said, it's like
I'm talking about 20 niggas are running that motherfucker. Y'all ain't gonna catch one of them.
But like you said, it's just the
he gonna be
atmosphere.
looking at my sister with her big ass booty.
But like you said, it's just the atmosphere.
Well, we done walked out that motherfucker with packs of meat, all type of shit.
But yeah, it's just the atmosphere. It's where demographic ain't hate on no sides. But like you say, it's the
reason why I'm laughing because we did a stunt like that when we was in college, man. About 30 of us hit the goddamn Kroger's.
Kids do that.
You know, white dudes looking at everybody.
Gas stations and the 7-Elevens and shit out there.
We don't took the gumball machine.
That's it, max.
We don't took the gumball machine.
We
took all that shit. We don't snatched all that shit on there.
I felt disrespected as a customer if I come to the 7-Eleven. Only 2 people can come in at a time.
But not like you say. But it's not disrespect. It's to show you about the area and what it is.
Ain't no white stoves. It's Arabs. They ain't no white stoves. They just let the Arabs other motherfuckers get the stuff.
But see, that's the thing because we got
niggas be in that motherfuckers like, yeah, okay. They even go to high school. But jump on a city bus. So they got it all timed out. They running that little stove.
But for us,
give me blunts. Well, he selling all this little nigga blunts that he shouldn't even be buying no blunts. Selling to this little ass nigga. The other little niggas just sticking all the ho-hos and cakes. And
but like you said, we got everybody got them stories. But that's the problem is we need to start. That's what you said as far as addressing that. We need to start holding that, like you said, accountable, even in mankind. Period. You know what I mean? The people got to accept the fact that it's crazy motherfuckers out there. There's motherfuckers out there who give a fuck, and there's motherfuckers out there who completely don't give a fuck at all. You know what I mean? And you got the same thing as far as the black culture. You got some black motherfuckers who smart, and some of them who just fucking dumb. You know what I mean? You got, you know what I mean? And I don't mean to put nobody out there like that, but I know everybody know the boom gang dude. You know what I mean? Doing all that retarded ass shit. To me, that the shit is stupid. You know what I'm saying? You running around, you stealing shit, you taping that you stealing, running out with donuts and you know what I mean, running out on haircuts and all type of little just stuff. You know what I mean? And then you wonder why they look at you. You wonder why they look at us and be like, oh, all these niggas the same and this and that. Nah, we don't do that shit. Now don't get me wrong, like he said, when everybody was younger, when they was younger, we did it, was cool. But it's different when you 30, 40, still doing that same shit. Then now you making motherfuckers look bad.
Yeah.
when you 30 and 40 and still stealing, still playing around, still, you know what I mean? Right. All goofy and shit. It's cool to have fun and laugh and all that, but when you know what I'm saying, when you on that kid shit, that's where you start making everybody look bad. Right. That's where we gotta hold them accountable, where they be looking like, oh man, look at that black, oh he's a, hold on, that motherfucker 37. He's 37. Now if he was 15, 16, this we expect this from a young nigga. Especially wild now on the skateboard, talking shit, being loud. But not to do it as 42. You out here all loud and shit. Come on, bro. What are you doing? Because you get dressed like you belligerent, you know what, be like that. Yeah.
But the thing about it is with me, man, to see a man that's in his mid-30s and you still walk around fucking sagging, man. I don't understand that shit. You shot that shit.
But that's what lets you know that it is a brainwashing. It is subliminal. Yeah, it has been drilled into your head that you do it without even thinking of it. It's called, in the Army, we call it muscle memory.
Yeah.
And your brain is a muscle.
Right.
They train your muscle to do what they want it to do.
Sagging ain't shit.
So even without you knowing that you do it, you have now become adapted to it.
You gotta understand too, the sagging, like these ain't our clothes. Like once we get some clothes tailored and made to our body, not just being made in China.
But not like you said, but that's the problem. Cause some niggas,
all our clothes being made at. We don't make no clothes.
But you know, it's them niggas that's in the hood. Like so these niggas in the hood, everybody else they don't want to leave. These niggas love to sag. That's their thing. And we all know where sagging came from. Everybody out there can play around and it came from. No, we know, nigga. That nigga, the jail is the first place to let you know where the sagging shit started. Where these niggas brought it from and where they brought it from and brought it to the street. Where they brought it from and brought it to the street. Stop playing with yourself. Sagging
came off from when your big brother.
No, ask them cats in there that's doing real life and they tell you sagging what it mean in here. This where it came from and this is what it means.
They always try to connect shit with the homo community. But
look, but not even to say that. My grandma was the one who told me too. But again, she worked in a prison for 35 years. Where she was like, baby, stop doing that. You want me to tell you where that shit came from? It came from them niggas getting out of jail. And they're still doing that same gay shit they was doing in jail. You ain't telling him nothing. He 290 pounds. He a big ass black nigga. You ain't about to tell him shit. You ain't about to tell him nothing. He out there sagging with his ass out, big as hell. Big Mark out there. He like, oh, what's up, big Mark?
You old enough and you know being poor and wearing your big brother clothes.
On a slavery motherfucking goddamn plantation when they used to bring black guys in and make them wear their pants down. It's called butt busting, nigga. Go look it up.
And that's
when they used to break in the mails
and that's what they call it. And that's what that's what they call it in jail. And that's what they call it in jail. I can believe that because that's what they call it in jail. They call it butt busting in jail.
But sagging,
the one cat just got out and said his son asked him, "What does butt busting mean, Dad?" And he explained it.
All that might be true. All those incidents might be true.
We got the internet right here.
But sagging and hip hop didn't come from that. I'm old enough to know that sagging and hip hop didn't come from jail.
No, hip hop is all about trends. Hip hop came all from somewhere else.
I know wearing Be the Man clothes, my big brother clothes, being poor.
That's where you got sagging. That's why you sag.
Having to wear big clothes. If you look at Doobie and these kids right now, they not looking at no nigga like I'm dressing like him on no sagging shit. They clothes is falling off their ass because they too fucking big. So you got to understand, these clothes are made in China, made in Taiwan, made in all these other places. We're not making these clothes. You're not designing these clothes for your black body. That's what you got to understand. They try to put gay shit. They try to put all this gay shit. Now they did that shit. They might have pulled their little pants down and like, okay, we gonna do that. That's some gay shit. But no, they didn't come from that. You didn't grow up no little boy. You know what I'm saying? Your pants was falling off your ass. You run around playing. Talking about, I'm doing this because tough nigga just got out of jail. No, you didn't do that, bro.
Fine.
On that note, so
yeah,
I'm old enough. Y'all can't trick me with those games.
Yeah, but no, this and this what we, and like you say, this is still coming from the system. But you know what I'm saying. So I googled it. The origin of sagging the trousers.
You can't Google this made up.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm before Google.
Yeah, but I'm saying this.
Google, so you gotta, you know what I'm saying.
And Google say, but Google say not really for.
I used to wear all my brother's shit.
But I'm saying Google didn't say for, but Google didn't say for a proven fact.
I'm before Google.
But it didn't say before a proven fact. It didn't say for a proven fact. But it say sagging pants.
So I'm gonna write something about the Google to make that.
But I'm saying it says wearing pants below the waist so that undergarments are showing. Most sources report that sagging pants began in the prison system. Sagging pants may also be as simple as a rebellion, claims another source. The stereotypical nerd wears his pants very high, and sagging is the exact opposite.
When Pop was sitting there and his pants was falling off him because they was too big, and he had his belt on, and he was rapping with his shirt off, he wasn't trying to attract no gay motherfuckers, and you know that.
I don't know.
But DMX was doing it. He wasn't trying to. You do it. When you walk around with your shirt off and your pants falling off your ass, you ain't not trying to attract no gay motherfuckers. You just got your shirt off, smoking blunts, walking around on some thug shit.
I mean, that's what they're telling you about. That's been drilled into your head.
Trick your mind.
No, I'm telling you, that's how it's been drilled to your head to where you do it without thinking about it.
I don't give a shit because I wear my shit.
Look, I'm sagging right now. I can't fit these motherfuckers.
But
I ain't trying to attract no gay motherfucker. I got on short and my shit sagging. I'm 40-something years old.
Of course. But how many cats can fit their pants and they still pull up?
None of us, because I'm just like go back.
No, I done had friends that seen them pull them down. Like they want to sag.
Time out. You get hold on, Donnie.
I'm like, I done seen them do it.
I'm going to stop you right there, cuz. I'm going to stop you right there. Reason why Some they go in the store and buy these pens. Big.
That's what I'm like. These niggas intentionally.
Some of them
talking about.
Some now
intentionally.
it's